For over 3,000 years, a treasure of incredible wealth and the secrets of a boy king lay hidden beneath the Egyptian sand. When the seal to Tutankhamun's tomb was finally broken in 1922, the world was dazzled by the glint of gold. But along with the priceless relics, something else may have been unleashed. A legend of a deadly pharaoh's curse that would stalk anyone who dared to disturb his eternal sleep. This is the story of the strange coincidences and the terrifying chain of deaths that followed the opening of King Tut's tomb. It all starts with the man who financed the entire expedition, Lord Carnarvon. Just a few months after standing in awe of the golden artifacts, he was dead. The story that gripped the world was that it began with a single mosquito bite. But the truth is a bit more complicated. Carnarvon's health was already poor following a major car accident years earlier, leaving him vulnerable. Still, the bite became infected, and blood poisoning soon ravaged his body. And the legend doesn't stop there. The story goes that at the precise moment he died in a Cairo hospital, a massive power outage plunged the city into darkness. Back in England, his beloved terrier, Susie, is said to have howled and dropped dead at that very instant. Coincidence? Or was this just the first taste of an ancient pharaoh's revenge? The story of the curse is inseparable from the discovery itself. For years, British archaeologist Howard Carter, backed financially by Lord Carnarvon, had scoured the Valley of the Kings for Tutankhamun's lost tomb. By 1922, Carnarvon was about to pull his funding. He gave Carter one last season to find something. In a stunning turn of events on November 4th, 1922, Carter's team found it, a hidden step that led to a sealed doorway. When Carnarvon arrived, they stood before the door. Carter made a small hole, held up a candle, and peered inside. "Can you see anything?" Carnarvon asked. Carter's reply became immortal. "Yes, wonderful things." But even in this moment of triumph, a supposed omen appeared. The story of Carter's pet canary quickly made the rounds. On the very day the tomb was opened, it was said to have been eaten by a cobra, the ultimate symbol of the pharaohs. While there's no solid proof this ever happened, the local workers saw it as a grim warning. The media, always hungry for a sensational story, pounced. Novelist Marie Corelli wrote a widely read letter warning of dire punishment for disturbing a sealed tomb. Even Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of the hyper-logical Sherlock Holmes, believed the deaths were caused by elementals or malevolent spirits set to guard the pharaoh. While no curse was ever found inscribed over the tomb's entrance, the public, already fascinated with spiritualism, was hooked. The legend of the mummy's curse was officially born. Lord Carnarvon's death was just the beginning. The so-called curse seemed to have a long reach. Soon after, others connected to the tomb began to die. George J. Gould, a wealthy American financier, visited the tomb in 1923 and died from pneumonia a few months later. The radiologist who x-rayed the mummy, Sir Archibald Douglas Reed, died from an illness a year later, though his death was likely related to his career-long exposure to radiation. The list of alleged victims grew. Carnarvon's half-brother, Aubrey Herbert, died from sepsis after a dental procedure back in London. An Egyptian prince, Ali Kamel Fahmy Bey, who had visited the site, was shot and killed by his wife. Each death, no matter the circumstance, was woven into the terrifying narrative. Perhaps one of the most chilling cases was that of Hugh Evelyn White, a British archaeologist who worked with Carter. Haunted by the string of deaths, he reportedly grew convinced he was next. He took his own life, leaving a note allegedly written in his own blood. "I have succumbed to a curse which forces me to disappear." Even objects from the tomb seemed to carry the pharaoh's wrath. Carter's friend, Sir Bruce Ingram, was given a paperweight made from a mummified hand. The hand wore a bracelet with a supposed warning inscription. Soon after, Ingram's house burned to the ground. After he rebuilt it, a flood destroyed it. The pattern of misfortune was terrifying. Of course, for every believer, there was a skeptic. They pointed to the most obvious clue against a curse: Howard Carter himself. The man who first breached the tomb lived for another 17 years, dying of lymphoma at 64. Lady Evelyn Herbert, Lord Carnarvon's daughter and one of the first people inside the chamber, lived until 1980. A study showed that of the 58 people present when the tomb and sarcophagus were opened, only 8 died within the following 12 years. So if not a curse, what's the explanation? One of the first scientific ideas was the toxic tomb theory, suggesting that harmful bacteria or fungi like Aspergillus were sealed inside for millennia. It was thought these spores could cause fatal infections, especially in someone with poor health like Lord Carnarvon. However, while similar fungi were blamed for deaths after the opening of a Polish tomb in 1973, analysis of the spots on Tutankhamun's tomb walls found the mold was long dead and harmless. More recently, a startling new theory has emerged: radiation. A 2024 study proposed that the tomb could have contained naturally occurring radioactive elements like uranium within its rock and artifacts. This prolonged exposure could have led to radiation sickness and cancers, which might explain warnings found on other tombs of a disease that no doctor can diagnose. This theory suggests the ancient Egyptians may have known of the danger, and the curses were actually ancient health warnings. It's a compelling idea, but still very new and not yet widely accepted as the definitive answer. The story of King Tut's tomb is a fascinating blend of history, mystery, and science. If you find these ancient enigmas as compelling as we do, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next dive into the world's most cursed artifacts. Let us know in the comments below. Do you believe in the curse? Or is there a scientific explanation for everything? Ultimately, the curse of King Tutankhamun remains such a powerful legend because it walks that fine line between what we can explain and what we can't. Was it a supernatural force unleashed from a 3,000-year-old tomb? Or was it a perfect storm of bad health, media sensationalism, and maybe even microscopic toxins or hidden radiation? The deaths are real. The eerie coincidences are documented. But whether they're the work of a vengeful boy king or simply the random tragic turns of life is a question that continues to haunt us. The golden treasures of Tutankhamun are now safely behind museum glass, but the dark legend that followed them out of the tomb lives on. A chilling reminder that some mysteries are never truly laid to rest. What do you believe?